It's your Bradesky, Aaron the Plumber, in a real way. And today we are doing the Hotline Bling talk show, and we are going to be discussing politics, the basics of politics in a real way. With everything that's going on in the world right now, I think it's very imperative that we all start learning the basics of politics. Yes, we learned some of this in school, but unfortunately, a lot of people don't know or don't possess this knowledge. So today we're breaking down how the US government actually works and how it affects your money, your paycheck, and your future. Politics is how a country makes decisions. In the United States, power is divided into three branches, so no one branch becomes too powerful in a real way. So, knowing how the three branches of government work is more important than most people realize, because knowing how the government works, it gives you power and awareness of what's going on. Like who wants to reside in a state of oblivion? Me, I certainly don't want to know. Be in a state of oblivion. But it helps you understand laws, protect your rights, and make smarter decisions in life. So, of course, it is imperative that we learn the three branches of government in a real way. So, the first is Congress, the legislative branch. Congress makes laws and controls government spending. Yes, they like to spend a lot of money on frivolous stuff. They decide tax rates and where tax money goes, like funding schools, the roads, and the military in a real way. The second branch of government we have is the executive branch. The president is who leads the executive branch. Now, the president enforces laws, he commands the military, and he negotiates with other countries. And the president can veto laws passed by Congress. The third branch of government is the Supreme Court. Now, the Supreme Court are the ones that interpret laws. They make sure everyone follows the Constitution. And if a law violates constitutional rights, then the Supreme Court has the ability to strike it down. Now, they also have checks and balances. Checks and balances is a rule that each branch has some power over the others in a real way. Checks and balances. It's the control system that keeps any one branch from becoming too powerful in a real way. So we got the legislative branch, the executive branch, and we have the Supreme Court, the three branches of government. Now, Congress is the part of government that makes the rules for the country, right? It is made up of two groups: the House of Representatives, which has 435 members, and the Senate, which is made up of 100 members. I think it's two from each state. Yes, two from each state. Congress creates the laws that control taxes and government spending, and they can declare war. They can also approve important government positions, including judges. Yes, that's where nepotism comes from, and oversee the president to make sure that the rules are being followed. So basically, Congress, they write the rules, they control the money and checks on the other parts of the government to make sure they're doing their job to represent the people. We the people. Supreme Court. In a real way, the Supreme Court is the highest court in the United States, and it is part of the judicial branch. Its main job is to interpret the laws. That means they check if laws made by Congress follow the Constitution, which is the rule book for the country. Now, think of the Supreme Court like referees in a game. Congress makes the rules, the president enforces them, but the Supreme Court makes sure no one is cheating or breaking the rule book in the Constitution. All right. Supreme Court. The executive branch. The president leads the executive branch. Their main job is to enforce the laws made by Congress. Now, the president is also the commander in chief of the military. He can veto laws they disagree with, and he appoints federal judges, but the Senate has to approve them. A veto is when the president says no to a law that Congress has made. Think of it as rejecting a suggestion. Even though Congress wrote the law, the president can stop it from becoming official. But Congress, they can respond. If enough members agree, 2/3 in both the House and the Senate, they can override and veto the law and it becomes official anyway. So a veto is the only way the president checks the power of Congress, and Congress has a way to check the president back. A veto in a real way. So today we have covered the basics of politics, the three branches of government, and knowing how the three branches of government work is important. We just learned how the three branches of government is important. Knowing how the government works gives you what power and what awareness. It helps you understand the laws, protect your rights, and make smarter decisions in life. So let's continue to learn politics with Aaron the Plumber in a real way, though.